welcome back to my channel. Today I want to introduce you to professional makeup artist Malika, who's gonna teach us how to do this gorgeous hair and makeup, so stick around.
For this makeup look, we're gonna be using the Benefit Primer. Our next step is going to be Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. The next step is that we're going to blend everything into the skin very smoothly. After the foundation, we're going to apply our Narcissist Concealer. With the concealer, we try to hide all the unwanted blemishes, acne scars, and everything that you want to get rid of while doing your makeup. Every cream product we try to dab in very softly, so it doesn't have any unwanted color that we want to leave that switches between the foundation and the concealer. So we try to do it very smoothly, as smooth as we can. Never forget that you never drag out the cream products on our face. We only slightly dab in. No dragging to the sides. And what I like to do after applying the first layer of concealer is that I like to use another concealer which is a little lighter in color than the previous one, so we can put it on the blemishes and the spots that were not covered previously. And what I like to do is that I like to leave the concealer on for a few seconds so it settles in and we're sure that we don't have the redness afterwards. Now that we have waited a little bit, now we can start dabbing the concealer in using the brush. But we are not done with our concealer yet because we have to prepare our eyes too. Some people like to use the eyeshadow primer, but what I like to do is to use the concealer for the eyelids too. And the brush that we're going to use is Sephora 71. And don't forget not to drag the brush, but instead to just slightly tap it in. And now we're done with the concealer. Our next step is liquid contour, and for the contour we're going to be using the Fenty Beauty stick. Then we're gonna take our contour brush and start blending everything right into the skin. You should try to blend everything really precisely so we don't have any harsh lines at the end of our makeup, so everything looks very smooth and professional. Next step is the blush. For tonight's look, we're going to use the NARS blush. And with the help of Beauty Blender, we're going to blend everything in again. And to set everything in, we're going to use the translucer powder by Fenty Beauty. And by doing that, we will try to even everything out and make our foundation matte. So we have no unnecessary light coming through. That's why we use the powder very precisely. And as you can see, even while using powder, I don't drag the brush on the skin, but instead I lightly dab it. So everything settles in. And we don't waste our product while doing so. The finish on the skin that we'll be needing today is matte. Different makeups require different finish, but for the one today, we need the matte one. We also don't forget to set our eyelids too with the same powder. And for our next step, we're going to be using the bronzer, and the bronzer that we're going to use for today's look is going to be the Benefit Hoola bronzer. And for the brush, we're going to use 03 powder brush by Sephora. And don't forget about the nose contour. And moving on to the blush. For today's look, we're going to be using the Benefit blush and Sephora 03 powder brush. So the next step is baking. For the baking, we're going to use the IT Cosmetics loose powder. And while setting powder is setting in, we're going to be starting doing the eyes. And for the eyes, we are using our MAC palette today. So let's start. For the crease, I'm going to be taking this color first. We're going to be using it as a transitional color. For the outer corners, we're going to be using a bit of a darker color, so we add a bit of depth to the sides of the eye. And for the black eyeshadow, I'm going to take the Lancome eyeshadow palette. And don't forget about the bottom lash line. And for our last step, the lighter parts of the eye, we're going to be doing with the Dior palette. And we'll take the lightest color of the palette. Just the inner corner of the eye. So now we will be removing the excess powder, again, just by slightly tapping in. And for the next step, we will be needing a very thin brush for the eyeliner. And the product that we're going to be using is going to be Inglet in color black. So now we're done with our eyeliner. As you can see, it's very thin, it's very light, because we're going to be adding lashes later. So how do you like it so far?
Let's see. Wow, it's so beautiful.
It's
I
nice.
really love it. Thank you.
You're welcome. So next we're going to be moving to our eyebrows. As you can see, Lisa has very fluffy, bushy brows, and we're not going to be doing a lot with her brows for this exact reason. So for the brows, we're going to be using Super Lock by Maybelline. So let's start. And now we're moving on to the lashes. So as you can see, we're done with the lashes. Very beautiful. Not as extra because we don't have the extra makeup today. And now we're going to be adding a little bit mascara so we can blend our natural lashes with our fake ones. And let's not forget about the lower lashes. So now we're almost done. We are going to be moving to the lips now. For the lips, we're going to be using the Sephora Frappuccino lip liner and Clarins Lip Perfector in color 6. So now that we're done with our lips, we are moving forward to our last step, which is a highlighter. We're going to be using the Lancome palette that we used earlier and 2 highlight brushes, MAC 168S and the Sephora 05 highlighter brush. A bit more, and we are done with the makeup. And now to finish our makeup, we're going to be using the Makeup Forever Fixing Spray. So for the hair, we're going to be using the Balmain Heat Protection, and we're gonna spray it all over the whole length of the hair. First, we're going to divide the hair into 2 sections, so it's more comfortable for us to make the curls. So the right side of the hair, we are going to be curling to the left side. And the left side of the hair, we're going to be curling the opposite direction, which is right. We hold it for a couple of seconds. I usually hold it for around 10 or 15 seconds. Don't forget to curl your hair the opposite side. So when you're doing the right side of your hair, you curl it to the left side, and when you do the left side of your hair, you curl it the right side. So now we're almost done with the hair. Now we're gonna take our hairbrush and slightly brush the hair so we have these beautiful waves. So our next step is going to be spraying our hair with this hairspray.
So beautiful. I love it. What do you think, guys? Thanks to Malika. Thank you for watching this video till the end. Hopefully it was a thoughtful video for you. See you in the next video. Mwah! Bye!